Babami, it's always a delight to return to this beautiful set with a great ambience, and I'm grateful that we always have you right there, seated, ready to watch, ready to critique, ready to comment, ready to share, subscribe, and buy what we're selling in form of this podcast. Welcome back to another seasoned edition of the A1 Nigeria podcast. My name is Ayo-Akande, honored to be honorably serving as your host every single edition of the A1 Nigeria broadcast podcast. Today I have a huge guest in a studio on a show. He has so far in Southwest Nigeria the largest private pitch right now, not government, private pitch in Southwest Nigeria. And this man has such a rich story. He is the CEO of the Vicolas group of companies, right? And of course, is right here in the studio today. It's great to have you, my boss.
You're welcome.
The one and only Vicolas. Tell us about the book Vicolas story. Everybody knows, well, maybe not everybody, maybe a few people know, but I know you from, graduating from University of Adi.
Yeah.
Not Ekiti State University, by the because now called the State University, and starting a business just before Shikita, where you probably are the number one landlord right now.
Probably.
Probably are the number one landlord right now. But tell us about the Vicolas story.
Yeah. Good day to you, viewers. My name is Ayo-Akande Victor, CEO of Vicolas at M7 Nigeria Limited. Good to be here this day. About Vicolas. Vicolas is a business which started in the year 2010. Yeah, we started back in Oshekita, and the business started with charging of phones, playing of games, PlayStation 2 back then. So we only started with 2 televisions and charging ports of about, let's say, 40. Then we started increasing to 50, 100, 150, and thereabouts. And the good news today is the Vicolas of today has always prioritized expansion and consistency. So whatever business I pick at every point, I make sure I remain consistent about it. That Vicolas as a brand is formed from Victor Olamide. Then to spice it up, we make it Vicolas. Yeah, and to God be the glory today. We have really gone really big. Far from where we intend to be, but really far from where we started from. Yeah, so that business has grown to having about 6 to 7 branches, and we have diversified in a lot of other things, from Vicolas game shop back then, where we had charging. We expanded to having mini laundry, which I do from my house. Later, I find somewhere in town to rent. I tried for a while. It did not really work very well. And then I came back to Oshikita. I never left that business of charging and
Do you still
gaming.
do it?
No. But that gaming I still do till today. And if you are a champion in Ekiti and you have not defeated the champions in the current Vicolas game show on PlayStation 5, we still don't consider you the champions. As we want you to come there, challenge our people, then we give you your roses. Yes. So to God be the glory. I decided not to let go of that very source, which is that PlayStation. Whenever we have challenge there, I make sure I come back. There have been times that they even stole a lot of all our games at the point. I feel like, no, this is the source. So to God be the glory. We have grown really wide and big. We at some point extended the business, diverted into selling of drinks, which we did for about a couple of years. Then I had this friend, which he was cutting with me back then. So we always stay in the store where I was selling drinks and playing my game then together. Then when I had the opportunity of expanding into all these fast food, Indomie, egg, I was like, it's Ajoji Odontene Kombani. It's better way. Okay, bro, Alpha, go into this business and eventually into Indomie. So we were having traffic from his end. They buy food from me, they buy drink from me, they play game, they charge their phone because we had electricity issue back in the days. For it just got restored last year.
Last year.
Last year there was another there was no light for like a decade and a half. So it was all burning on fuel. So people were always coming out. So at some point the guy left and the business was really shaky. Then people started going to other places to buy food. And when they buy food, they buy drink from there. So the business was really going down. Even when we talked to the, why didn't you buy drink? Sorry, we bought from there. So that challenged me and I someone the career, okay, let me just go into food business. And that's what brought up the item 7 that we have in Ekiti State today. Yeah. So, and to God be the glory, that food business revived the drinks and every other one around it. So, and to God be the glory. From there, that business has really helped to achieve a whole lot. It has helped us to gain ground, to gain trust. People can confidently switch with us because they know our story, they know how everything really started. And a lot of people took us for mentors and approaches me in person for guidance when they want to do this and that business. And to God be the glory. We've got a couple of business and they've survived and they are still standing today. Yeah. So.
All right. So you started from charging of phones and playing PlayStation to real estate.
Yeah.
And owning the biggest pirate pitch in Southwest Nigeria.
Yeah.
Right now. What's the drive? Where did you get that drive from?
For the pitch,
To grow this business.
well, the challenge has been I've always never wanted to be a burden to anyone. So each time I have every opportunity to expand, all I just do is I talk to 1 or 2 people whom I know has been through probably whatever I want to go into. It might not be the exact thing, but at least to a reasonable extent, they've gathered experience. I mingle with more of older and experienced people. One of my big mentor in the States is Baba Little by Little. Is
it real close to your place?
Yeah. That is where he has his mansion there. Then a couple of elder chiefs in Ado here. Yeah. Then when they tell me their stories, I try to see how I can actually navigate through and create my own story, making use of their past experiences, the things they've done that failed. I concentrate more on those. Understand? When you really want to take people for mentors, you don't always ask them about the things they did, and it seems to be like a jackpot. In fact, I take more time to study why some businesses fail than how or why it thrives. And so these are the things that guides me and my path on knowing what not to do. And so talking to them, the steps to take at a particular time, even it's not that you really needed their full consent to do something like that, but you actually need their guidance sometimes. My biggest mentor, who is my immediate brother, is based in the US. So many things he guides me through are the things he has never been through. But the fact that he reads, it gives him edge. And even when I have results, take for instance, I make bread now. I have a bakery.
Yeah.
A very big bakery. And by default, you will be like, how come you are able to move from this to bakery? Do you know about it? And the truth is, we've been talking about bakery. We've been talking about bakery for more than 5 years before it came into manifestation.
Oh.
He has been telling me I need you to go to so person in Lagos. Go and learn this. All these wait and gets, many bakeries that you just enter, they bake whatever you need for you, probably yeah, pizza, bread, cakes. So he said, go there and learn. So I've not really been considering it. So at the time when I want to consider the bakery that I have now, there are couple of people who are doing small businesses on my streets. And I employed one supervisor from Lagos to manage my drink store. I have a very big drink store where it's wholesale and retail. So it was like, he has been managing supermarket for a long time. Okay, let's do this. Let's include supermarkets into this drink section. I was like, okay. So at some point, when I gave a go, they already started constructing and making the iron shelves. So when they were almost done, I came around one day and I was like, wait, this woman that is here, I have about two of them. One opposite that drink store, one had the back of. They had small shops. And sometimes when they are financially down, I support them. So I realized opening a supermarket will make everybody that comes to buy drinks, to buy the things they sell from me too, that will collapse their business. So I told them I can't go into it because I can't give them what to eat. People that comes to buy things from us, buy food, buy drinks, are the people that buy soap, cream and all from them. So I paused it. So after about 4 months, I entered the store, I saw those shelves. I was not happy seeing that I've invested so much in those things. I was like, this thing can be useful for bread, right? The guy said, yes, they make bread from the other supermarkets he was managing. I said, okay, I've been told to do this a long time ago. This is a good time
To start.
And I tell you, I thank God, I did not act like I don't care. As regards those women who had no help.
I'd really like to say on this very good point. Because you said you because of your concern and care for the people who were doing businesses beside you, you paused that your mall idea because it would kill their.
It's real, automatically.
And then the business of the bakery came alive because you paused the.
And honestly, I would have been so much distracted with the supermarket of a thing because I have a lot of suppliers calling and responding and attending to demand and supply that I may never be able to go into that bread business. That bread business now has reached the places, the bread that we sell. I make my recipe myself. That bread.
So there's a Vicolas recipe.
Yes, definitely. Your recipe is what makes you unique. Yeah, I make my recipe myself. I don't give it to somebody to do on my behalf. Yeah. So that bread, the extent at which it has gone today, it has gone farther than I can ever reach with my legs. So it has actually made more publicity for my brand and it's moving very well, even without my presence now. I only have to, guide them, do this recipe, add this to this, add this to so number of bags of sugar, then give them enough recipe that they can use for as long as some weeks, then you come back when, so that's what happens now.
So you moved, now you have a brick bakery, you have an astroturf, you're into real estate. Tell us about that. How did you get into that? Real estate.
Yeah, I started with my own project. And by default, we have a lot of people out there who has the resources to do something significant, but they don't have the time and the experience. So when I got my own project done properly, I have a couple of people who approached me like, I want to do something like this. I did mine. And it's cool. I did mine, and it's cool. And them seeing it makes them feel, if you can do this, definitely. And these are people that can even trust me with financial resources. So I started from one. I think I traveled to Dubai in 2018. So when I came back, that was the first thing I was approached with. Like, boy, I want to do this. I want to do it. Okay. It's possible I will do it. And I did it again. I think that was a eight bedroom flat.
8-bedroom flat.
Eight flats. Eight flats. Yeah, a room and a parlor.
Oh, I remember. Oh.
Yeah. It's room and a parlor. Then after that, someone else approached for 10 flats. Small.
Oh.
People started approaching with estates. And part time, I don't have to say because I've done one. I have to engage the same team to do the next. Yeah. Okay. Then I started advancing. Started studying more. Then from there, I graduated to building estates. Then I was approached for 37 apartments.
Wow.
And to God be the glory. Sometimes at a point, I'll be handling like 5, 6 projects at a time. And I have enough people. Although unfortunately, I don't have a lot of Ekiti people who work. They are not always.
All these projects, are they all in Ekiti?
Most of them are in Ekiti. I do projects outside. But when I started, it was all in Ekiti. Wow. Then by default, when all these people graduated, even when they reach where they're going, they find it comfort. They derive so much comfort in having to do business with me. Everyone want to do this. Not just everyone. Some are far older than me. Some are enough to even give birth to me. Yeah. And by default, all the friends I have in the diaspora start contacting me. When I post things that are really big, I don't get to sell them to people around. So, and some of them don't even see those things when they even pay for it. So I believe it's the antecedents, the track record we've had. If you are doing good, it might not really circulate and get to people's ears so fast. But if you are bad,
it will get everywhere.
It will get everywhere. So the confidence they have in me, I only try to make sure at all that is ever going to cost me. You can't give me money and I don't deliver. I rather under promise and over deliver than not to deliver. Because even if I promise you, okay, I'll get this done in 6 months. In my mind, I'm looking at how to get it done 3 months so that I will have enough time to rest my head. And when it comes to finances, to God be the glory. I have been able to learn a lot from my parents that money is the least of what should be your worry.
Money is the least of what should be your worry.
If you don't prioritize like, you must. Not just do your thing diligently. Even when you think people are not watching, forget people are. To God be the glory. I can't record the number of projects I've handled. The few of the biggest projects currently running in the state now is being handled by my firm.
Do you want to mention names? Let's see how big they are.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to mention names.
It's okay, that's fine.
I wouldn't want to mention names, but to God be the glory. The track record I've had, the antecedents, the goodwill makes people to be like, okay, I have somebody. Even people that cannot afford to patronize me. And they're talking about me to be like, they've given me multiple jobs.
That's great. Integrity. Okay, so while this is important, it's also important that we also pay attention to this story. I mean, there's so much. I see the life coming through. And this is a man that I know started from just PS to phone charging. At some point, you miss talking about the POS thing, the story.
Well, that's a very big breakthrough for me. The thing is, I had good relationship with my bankers back then, and around 2010, 16, I think that was when the BOS really became a big deal.
Big deal.
But years before, I've been doing POS business. And at the point in the whole of this Ado, I can only see about 3 of us doing POS.
Just about 3.
Just about 3. And it's so fortunate for me that before a lot of people realized there was opportunity in it.
You has already cast that.
I've gone really far. I've gone really far with some other few people. That so many times, even the money I used yesterday would never be enough for the next day. Consistently like that, till like I was able to grow the business to a very reasonable extent. Wow. So all the business partners, or let me say people who has businesses on my street, the fact that we had a good relationship, I go to them, just have many 5K, 20K. Head money when they have, they are always happily giving it. But at some point, you just realize that all of them had POSs. But at that point, I was not totally reliant on that POS business alone. I knew there's nothing that can go forever. Yes,
I'm a champion for.
so I was already diversifying into real estate partially. Yes, and though I didn't start it too early, but to a reasonable extent, I thank God for how far God has brought me in real estate business. Yeah, it has gone so well that right now, if you want to buy a very reliable property in the community where I operate, and you want to buy the property that will not take you to court. Even your moneyless, we consider like a bonfire or any offer and come by, because whatever I'm involved in as far as property is concerned will not be the one that can actually bring issues to later on. I've never been invited for a lattice anywhere. So, even when you want to do something that may affect me, people in your environment will be like Baja, it's not somebody you should mess with. It's not. I don't think it is deserved it. Even sometimes the community fights my battle for me. Like no. And I thank God for the community I find myself. They are welcoming people. They are wonderful people.
And you grew in that community, yeah? So I have a lot of questions in my head.
Yeah.
There's the football pitch question I still want to ask. There are why football pitch, but you grew up in that community, started your business in that community. The community is Woko, by the way.
Yeah, you were quick to say.
Those of you who are familiar with Ayo-Akande, it's that school area region. And you started from being a nobody to be very prominent in there. Speaks a lot to people who cast aspersion on the economy of Ekiti State. You run business. I mean, so much that you mentioned, laundry, the POS thing we've moved into now, bakery and eatery. We now have a pitch, football pitches, real estate. What's that message? I mean, imagine that someone's looking and saying, all of this is done in Ekiti and is that successful? Do you think that Ekiti is a very fruitful space to invest your business in?
From my own experience. Yes.
It's a good.
From my own experience. From my own good experiences. Yeah, I believe so. Ekiti is a very good place to explore when it comes to investment. The Ekiti people are welcoming. They don't discriminate. Even if you want to experience any form of discrimination, it should be 1 of 10, which does not really carry weight. If you are a good person and you prioritize them, you don't speak less of them, you don't rub shit on their faces, they won't come at you. What I meant is, you can't be making money from them, making them, and still oppressing them. Why? So a lot of us, a lot of people, let me say, does that. Before you start making some little money, the next thing you consider doing is what will affect the community. Yeah. One of the reasons that actually giving me an edge is I consider a lot of social responsibilities, and that is giving me social security.
You do a lot. Do you mean you do a lot of charity
Kind of.
support?
Kind of. In my community, at least I have about 3 boreholes I dug. One very close to my office that the whole of the neighboring streets uses. Then I've had a time like that I posted on my status, like, is there any space or any area that lacks good water? That was early last year, early 2025, that lacks good water, and I had a couple of them. If you come out from the airport road now, bust out to Shekita.
Yeah.
After making that turning, you will notice one
By the road.
by the road, facing that road. You will notice
People come. I see people.
yeah, people fresh water there. It's one of my status posts one day, like Alpha. Somebody just said, okay, I have land. They can. Then I was able to achieve it. In fact, the guy said, "Egmo, don't worry for even proposing it. I've been thinking of it for a long time. I will even support that." That guy, he probably would have done it, probably for the cost, or maybe the time was not really encouraging. But he said, "Egmo Ejo," and then we got it done under a week. We spent a lot of money, but we achieved it. You go to, take for instance, my birthday in 2020, September 15, 2020. I visited Iworoko Center weeks before to know what and what they don't have. I realized the electrical connection was totally bad. So I invited an electrician, buy wires, installed it. The above was not functional. In a clinic that serves a whole lot of that community, including the whole of the students of Ekiti State University and its environment, they do not have good water. They do not have freezers to preserve drugs, even for polio. What other thing? So I was able to gather all these things, that the informations of the things that they were lacking. So we got there, we presented with a new freezer. Then I tagged that charity, Friends of Vicolas. There's that. When I want to do things like that, I conveniently do it alone. But sometimes I feel like it's a blessing having to tap into things like this. Then I open it. If you also want to do something for people. So sometimes I've had things done in the name of Friends of Vicolas that I did alone. And I have things done in the name of Friends of Vicolas that I had people. Then sometimes when we have issues with health issues, I'm not really a big fan of. But when I see people and I put it, I'll be like, okay, I can just put it up there. Hello, please, so person. We post as the person send the graphics. I have to just first of all do my diligence.
Of course.
To know it's real.
Yes,
okay.
no.
Then I can post on my page. Then sometimes I see people be like, where do you get these people from that supports this? And at some point I realized people almost wanted to be doing it for
Exploit you.
for 30 years, and then I'd be like, oh, whatever I'm doing for the community is what I want to do now. I want to do something for you now. And so far I was sharing food. During COVID-19, all the food stuff I had, all the foodstuffs I had, gas, gave it out. No, although we violated the law of social distancing, so the law is at the time. But at that time, people were hungry. People were on queue for like half a kilometer distance, queue with their cylinders to collect rice, to collect beans. We're like, oh, there's really hunger in the land. So all these things are some points, some people that are financially good now, we consider the things that has happened in the past and be like, no, this person less. So those are the social securities I have for myself. I work alone, no security. It's God that is protecting me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's great. So quickly, let's jump on the football conversation. The private pitch, it's also another investment, you know. I hear that you engineered the first one in Ekiti.
Yeah.
In Ado. in fact, in Ekiti State, and then you now have yours, which is now the biggest private owned in Southern Nigeria. Is it just another business, or there's a, because it seems that there's always a story around the venture?
Yeah, to God be glory. I have been someone who would have passion for football since I was a little child. My dad sponsored us in school, getting paid as a footballer, playing for Ibadan with them. Monsieur Adepoju, Shegun Dembami back in the days. So I've had so much passion for footballing. Then I have this football team, Vicolas FC. I've had that for like 8 years now. This 2026 will make it like 9 years. That's I've been sponsoring my own football team. Then sometimes we have issues with where to train. Sometimes we have issues with the school is saying we should not. Then I feel like, okay, let me just create these two. It's a big enough. We have academy there now. It's a big enough.
Now have an academy.
Yeah, we have yeah. So it's be big enough to have people train probably during the earlier hours of the day. Then in the evening, people come to pay. Then while we also have the place for training section for the team and the academy, we also have it to exchange value for cash. So people come. Then we have a land beside it, ball and ball. When you're done for playing football, you ball too. Like as a baller, you can
Now the name
that's where ball and ball. That's where ball and ball came from. So you can choose what to do. If you want to ball today, you ball. If you want to play ball tomorrow, you play ball. So while you are playing ball, you have things to refresh waste. You can dine there. You can take things out. Then for the major activities that are happening around Ekiti State now, ball and ball happens to be that space that can really contain a lot of crowd. Like it has the biggest space where you can have big events done. That is like a yard party. And we host the whole of Ekiti State Igbo people. Yeah.
That happens there.
Yeah. Once in a month. Yeah, then other big events when you feel like, okay, there are other places that have spaces like one section to one section to one section, but we have our own sections all together. So we can have like 2 parties at a time even, but yeah, 2 big parties. So banks comes for, end of the year parties, school, university and polytechnics, sports days, they come, take pictures, dance, play football, then.
Wow, interesting. So those who are watching now, I'm sure that you're thinking there seems to be a side of Ekiti that we're not particularly familiar with. Because some of the guests that we're bringing on this podcast, and yes, that's what the One Nigeria podcast is about, that sharing those stories that might not be familiar. And for those who've existed in this state for a couple of years and are wondering, do good things even happen in this buying? Well, CEO Vicolas is here and has been sharing an amazing story about this growth in Ekiti State. I'm curious, do you have some government support to all these things for children? At the state level?
At the state level, no.
Wow.
At the federal level, I would say no. As far as my business is concerned,
Really?
as far as my business is concerned, I'm doing my business. I only prioritize saving more than I spend so that it can help me expand and grow.
So you're private, individual, and entity running business here in the state, and not being from state government, not, all of that. You're just doing your business.
I do my business and I do my thing my own way. Then when government comes for what is theirs, we give what's Caesar's to Caesar. Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, to wrap this up, I know that you have a lot of stories around your growth, what inspired you. Maybe very quickly, what are those life-changing moments that defined you into being who you are right now, that spurred you on?
Yeah. Let me say this started. My mom, back in the days, she worked with the federal government. My dad worked with federal government too. And at some point, their salaries could not really finance the house, the home very well. Then Mommy, sometimes we travel as far as Abeokuta to go and buy Kampala, buy books in Ibadan, pencil, biro. Then myself and my elder brother, hawks for her. So we realized wherever she puts like 800 naira together, 500 naira together, when we are done selling, we have that money and we have extra profit. So since then, I've been thinking of, okay, it is possible to turn million into millions depending on how you manage it. So I've always been thinking like a business person. In fact, while I was in the year 1993 to 1994, while I was still a very small boy, I do this. At the junction of my school then, there's this woman that sells these plastic cars, plastic horses, you know those plastic? Yeah. So I'll go there, I'll give her 50 kobo. She give me like 2 or 3. And I give her 50 kobo. She give me plastic. Yeah. So when I get to school, they buy one for me for 50 kobo. Then I have like 150 kobo. 150 kobo then. Sometimes if they want to even want presents, so they buy one naira. So every day I was always having excess money to eat at. Then I was not trained on saving, but I was trained on multiplication. So then I was beginning to, my friends who we grew up, who comes from the same neighborhood, that knew my financial capacity from home, that did not expect me to be able to live that life. So one of them always followed me. Then I wish I follow one wrong route. So I didn't know it was waiting for me in one particular spot that day. When I got everything I want to buy like this, he only told me, let's go to school. I knew that was the end of my business. From there, he began to bring all our classmates to buy. So that was the first crash of business I had. So that was really heartbreaking. Then until I got to the Polytechnic in 2005-06, then what I do then to support my parents back then was I would paint for people, do wiring, repair our plates. Then I had this they call it this needle and thread to repair shoes, boots, slippers for my schoolmate back then. Then sometimes when I have the coppers who comes around and people want to go on picnic, I'll go and rent camera from one of my elder brother's friend. I rent the camera. I take pictures from probably resort or waterfall they go.
Oh, wow. So you took pictures?
Yeah. Wow. My elder brother and my immediate younger brother are professional photographers. Wow. One in Nigeria, one in the US now. And the good news is I'm the first photographer in our house. Wow. But I never took it professionally. But they are professionals now. Yeah. So I would take pictures, take it to the lab, then I will collect 150 per picture. Then I think that would cost me like 100 naira. Then I'll collect 150, sometimes 120 if they beg me. But I was always having extra money. So I've been business-minded from tender age. So, and when I got to school, after the charging business, the PlayStation, I saved some money to buy freezer. Then the first time I would go to the market to buy drinks, I bought drinks of 18,000, I guess. And after putting all these 1,000 naira drinks in the freezer, I only had one pack to display. La Casera. La Casera was selling for maybe 8 naira, 100 naira back then. So I displayed it and I was doing my thing. But I kept on saving more.
Soft drinks.
Yeah, I kept on saving more than I spent. At some point when I was able to force save 25,000 naira in a month, I felt like a king. Then I was contributing that money.
But did you start this as an undergraduate?
Yes, I started in 200 level. Whoa. I started that business of charging and PlayStation in 200 level. Financially, I didn't have money, but I had a dream. And I thank God for the kind of people I'm surrounded with. My elder brother, who is a photographer and cinematographer. Then my mom. My elder brother then, he was serving at a point. I think he just finished his NYSC. So he was able to save 100,000 naira the whole of his NYSC. He was being paid his salary. Then he was working with EcoBank. So he was able to save 100,000 a whole year. And at that point, he said, this savings is meant for mom because mom sacrificed a lot. I tried too. But when it comes to all this extra sacrifice, it's always the mom on our own side. And so he gave me 50,000. He said, the remaining 50,000, you deserve to have it because you have a business proposal, but I'm giving it to mom. But my mom gave her 50,000 to me as well because they felt they could trust me. If I tell you this business has flown a lot of us abroad, even when mom retired, we were able to give her a vacation trip to Dubai. And myself, this business alone has taken me to various countries of the world. I go, I come back.
You're based there in Ekiti?
No, I know. Where do I have to go? This is I from Ekiti. No, I'm not from Ekiti.
But okay, so I mean, I'm curious.
Sometimes it takes me to travel twice in a year. Sometimes with the family. That's why I said.
Never left that community, the school community, Woroko community.
So Hado.
Wow.
Here. I only thank God. God actually helped me to get it right. I was able to get the business right. I was able to get it. I make sure everybody are winning. You are patronizing me. You are getting value for your service. I get mine. Nobody is feeling injured. We are all happy.
Okay, so I have just one more question. I don't know if you can take this up in maybe 2 minutes. How do you manage, people, because you have a strong level of loyalty in your team, in your community. How do you manage your staff? I mean, you have a conglomerate right now. I don't know the number of staff you have, the different companies.
Yeah.
How do you manage them?
Currently, I should have a minimum of 100 staffs.
Wow.
Active. Apart from the ones in the real estate fair
that will come.
Because those comes and go. Yeah, but on my payroll,
100.
Yeah, like 100 people. Wow. And the thing is, we don't buy loyalty with money. One thing is, when they realize you are genuinely interested in their growth too, as much as you are growing, make sure you are growing.
As much as you
are growing, make sure they are growing. Yes, make sure they are growing as much as you are growing. So my one-time chief engineer on site has relocated to the UK with the family now. My manager for about 9 years relocated last December to the UK. Our manager for the drink store relocated to Canada 2023 December. And like that. And me as a CEO, I make sure, okay, every other head that I have in the various departments now, as much as I prioritize my growth, I make sure I prioritize their growth too. And they can see I'm genuinely interested in them. You understand? So putting people in place to be loyal to you, they must be sure you care about them. Must be sure about it. I have a brick production company.
You also have that?
Yes,
man of million parts.
I produce blocks every day since 2017. Wow. Every day, only Sunday exclusive. But when we have big job ahead, big supplier, we work on Sundays. Car wash is there. Sometimes I work when I first opened my car wash. I worked the car wash. I worked there myself for the first 6 months.
Alone?
Nobody was willing to work. And most of the people you even see me work with today are not from Ekiti. People from here don't want to work here.
Let's talk about that. In your 100, how many people are
Ekiti? Nah, it will be less than 10. I have to be honest. What I see is, I won't blame Ekiti people not working in Ekiti. Because when they are hungry, they have somewhere to go, they will give them food. But if you have come from Ibadan, Abuja, nobody will feed you work. So Ekiti people are also outside working. People don't work.
Yeah, they don't want to work at home.
It's also, let me also put it in someone once asked me, how come you are not from Ekiti and you are doing this well in Ekiti? I said the same thing happening in my hometown. Ekiti people are doing a lot well, more than we that. Do you understand? Alafion for your one said, I bought your show go I can control money. Like they gave birth to you in a place and you are doing the exploits there.
In that place.
The fact that people know your story, the negative energy will be much from where you are from, bro. So don't feel like they are doing great, but not mostly in Ekiti.
Anyway, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I feel that you might have to come back very soon
Wow.
to share more of the story. I mean, this is a whole lot that has been shared. And trust me, there are many lessons already shared in this. If you follow the story from beginning to this point, then I'm sure that you are super hyper inspired to not give up on your train. I want to thank you, CEO Dikon.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, Mr. IY Nigerias.
Yeah. And of course, thank you so much. Please, the central message here is whatever you have, multiply it. All right. Multiply it. And I want to thank you very much for all the comments and all the subscriptions and all the stories. Please keep them coming. So the next time I see you, Ayo-Akande is my name. Ewa Nigeria. I wish you all of the best.